नमस्कार। और मेरे साथ फ्रेम में आप देख रहे हैं डॉक्टर सुधीर बिष्ट, जो ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं नई दिल्ली से, और हमारे साथ धीरज कौल हैं, अभी आप न्यूयॉर्क से हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। पहले तो आप दोनों का अभिवादन करने के साथ साथ आप दोनों को भी नवरात्रि प्रारंभ हो रहे हैं, उसकी बधाइयां हैं। तो आपको जैसे याद है सुधीर, जब नवरात्रि के समय में पहली बार शायद प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी अमेरिका आए थे, ओबामा जी से मिले थे, तो 9 दिन तक वो पूरी तरह पानी ही पीते हैं या कम से कम भोजन नहीं करते। इस प्रकार ऐसी चर्चाएं भी बहुत हो रही थी कि वो कितने तपस्वी हैं इत्यादि हैं। तब तरह तरह से होता है। और एक बार तो पुनः ये हम पारंपरिक रूप से याद करें तो जो पूरे विश्व की माता है, उनके चरणों में विश्व में शांति हो और सबके भीतर सद्बुद्धि जागृत हो, ऐसी प्रार्थना करते हुए हम राजनीति की तरफ भी बढ़ेंगे। भारत जोड़ो की बात विशेष रूप से आज हम करने वाले हैं। तो आज का जो विषय हमारा रहने वाला है वो भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के साथ साथ जो राहुल गांधी जी जुड़े हैं तो कांग्रेस की बात निश्चित रूप से है। फिर पीएफआई क्या है, ये पीपल फ्रंट ऑफ इंडिया ने क्या ऐसा किया कि कई राज्यों में उनके कार्यालयों पर छापे पड़े और 106 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया गया। पीएफआई के बारे में थोड़ा सा आपसे जानेंगे और साथ में हम बात ये करेंगे कि ये पद यात्रा जो है, ये सचमुच भारत जोड़ने की दिशा में कितना महत्वपूर्ण कदम है, ये क्या राजनीति मात्र है। और इसके साथ साथ धीरज, आप देख रहे हैं इन दिनों में खबरें, तो कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष के रूप में पहली बार संभवतया कोई गैर गांधी परिवार से चुना जाए, इसकी स्थितियां बनती लग रही हैं। आगे जाके वो जैसे वनडे मैच में लास्ट मिनट का क्या हो जाता है या कोई ट्विस्ट एंड टर्न्स होते रहते हैं, तो उसकी संभावना के बारे में भी हम लोग थोड़ी सी चर्चा करेंगे। बात की शुरुआत करते करते मैं सबसे पहले बहुत ब्रीफली सुधीर जी आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ, हाउ डू यू फील अबाउट द भारत जोड़ो यात्रा कॉन्सेप्ट एंड व्हाट यू हैव सीन सो फार बाय राहुल गांधी?
Thank you, Ashok ji, and greetings to Dheeraj ji. So, Bharat Jodo Yatra, there is nothing wrong with actually somebody trying to discover India at a ripe age of 50 plus. I mean, there is no age to discover. There is no age to discover various parts and travel through various nooks and crannies of the country. So I don't have any objection to that. But the
No,
intent of Bharat,
allow me to interrupt, because you started off saying as if he has declared the objective कि वो यात्रा भारत के डिस्कवरी के लिए कर रहे हैं, जैसे कि डिस्कवरी ऑफ इंडिया चाचा पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी की किताब है। ये वो वाली बात नहीं है। उनका घोषित लक्ष्य क्या है, वो भारत को जोड़ने की बात कर रहे हैं। तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि कहीं वो ये मान रहे हैं कि भारत जो है एक डिवाइडेड सिचुएशन से गुजर रहा है। इनफैक्ट ही कीप्स ऑन रेफरिंग टू इट।
आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं। भारत तो इंडिया इज फ्री, इंडिया इज यूनाइटेड सिंस 1947 and the only more unity to say only the more cohesion, if you want to make India more cohesive, then perhaps we have to take over Pakistan and Bangladesh and make it a Akhand Bharat. So I take it that his principal objective of uniting Indians, as he says, he wants to he wants to drive a popular position. He wants to drive a popular movement against the present government. His hidden aim or his award aims to unite India, but I think the process is the intent is very clear. He wants to dislodge the present government. Is it possible? How would he do it? These are in the realms of speculation. But the thing is, in the process of uniting the country, has he actually disrupted a party which was kind of stable after G23 had been kind of neutralized with the exit of Ghulam Nabi Azad? Second thing is this Bharat Yatra a last ditch attempt to resurrect the Gandhi? It may look very contradictory because as you said in the opening frame, that for the first time there is going to be a non-Gandhi who will be a president of Congress party. But are you sure? I mean, the proof of the pudding is in eating. Because today, the latest news, and I'm coming from the press club where all the journalists meet. The latest news is that Ashok Gehlot has been ruled out of the race for the presidency. And because 90 MLAs in Rajasthan, they were ready with the letters of resignation. There are 130 MLAs of Congress and 90 are ready with letters of resignation, and they want to give it to the Speaker of the Rajasthan Assembly. They say if anybody other than Ashok Gehlot is made the CM, then they need to be contacted. Their counsel need to be taken. Their buy-in needs to be taken. So, in the process of uniting India or Indians, is Rahul Gandhi able to actually stop the disintegration of Congress? Second point is, you see that they are losing, the Gandhi family is now losing control. You will not find, the day is very far off when other satraps like the CM of Chhattisgarh, he will also say that I will do what I want to do, and he will drive his own agenda rather than looking at the high command. So this yatra, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. The yatra is mostly in Kerala, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. One of the senior journalists who is covering Congress for the last 35 years said that if at all there are some states where Congress is expected to do well, it is in southern states. Okay, the yatra is almost bypassing Gujarat. It is not going to Himachal, okay, where the states where there are going to be elections. So I think the yatra is more to rediscover his own mojo. Rahul Gandhi is trying to rediscover his mojo, and he's trying to reestablish. And I am personally very skeptical that there will be any non-Gandhi Congress president. And even if there is one, he will be somebody who will be
Yeah. So he'll be somebody who, after that, you could not say probably the technology uh, hindrance. Okay, now continue.
okay. So because Ashok Gehlot, they thought Ashok Gehlot was a guy who was very subservient, who will be very loyal, but he has changed colors. He has turned out to be different. They cannot support Shashi Tharoor because Shashi Tharoor is highly erudite, intelligent. He can catch the imagination of the youngsters or
So
the
yeah,
middle class.
Sudhir, you made many important points, and let me seek how Dheeraj feels about this particular issue. Very briefly, Dheeraj, 2 points. Number one, um, while you see the images coming from the Padayatra, you see a lot of people showing interest coming to meet or walk with Rahul Gandhi. But at the same time, you also see some of the images which are being talked about. They make this yatra controversial. One fact to be verified, but the girl who was sharing podium with one time with Owaisi and shouted Pakistan Zindabad, from which Owaisi also distanced himself. And then you take a look at your screen, Dheeraj. Here is an image where Rahul Gandhi is in a church, and that is Pastor George Punaiya. This is Mullu Dichu Parai Church, and the place in Tamil Nadu. So the conversation between the two also resulted into some sort of a controversy where pastor said something which was found derogatory from a Hindu point of view, and that is very much talked about. So overall, your impression about the possible impact of this Padayatra, Dheeraj?
Yeah, I mean, just briefly, this yatra is designed for 3,570 kilometers, 150-day long march, starting from Kanyakumari, started on 7th September. Second day, it went to Kerala in September 10th, and 450 kilometers in Kerala and touching around 7 districts there. So October, it's supposed to end in come in October. So overall, it's supposed to end in Jammu Kashmir, basically, 150 days. So I think it's a very welcome move. The intent, I'm not sure what it is. What are they trying to unite? But whatever they're trying to unite, if it unites, I don't understand what is broken. So whatever the purpose, it's a good physical exercise. They're trying to revive their party. Unfortunately, the youth, as much as I was thinking, because I'm connected in India and media, and I'm getting this first-hand reports, as much as we were thinking youth will turn over, that's not a real phenomena which is happening. Rahul Gandhi trying to reconnect with public like his grandmother Indira Gandhi did after she lost election by climbing on the elephant, which is everybody knows about the story. I don't think that trajectory is going this route. They have to really change the paradigm in which they look. I think overall for India, it will be very good to have a strong and a very positive opposition, which is constructive in building India 2.0, which brilliantly our Prime Minister is doing. But unfortunately, this tussle, this war of throne is going on. Who will lead the party instead of how party will, play a constructive role in rebuilding India? I think that should be the focus instead of who's gonna be the president, Gandhi or not Gandhi. I don't think I'm a physician. Okay, I don't think this comes genetically down you that if your father is a good leader, there's no such science like this. So just because his great grandfather was first prime minister and his grandmother was prime minister, father was prime minister, it doesn't give him a right. He has to, come out of that golden spoon in his mouth the way he was born. He has to prove himself. And so far, he's not been able to connect. I think, like you rightly mentioned, Shashi Tharoor is a little better connects. I have been in touch with him in past a year ago. He's a very dynamic person, but again, it is for the party to decide. And I really feel the amount of turnover of youth they were expecting, that's not happening.
So now we move towards the other side, which is very important. Sudhir, if you have paid attention, of course you did. The PFI and Congress also share some background. So what is that background? I'll request you to share that. And also, you are aware that during the course of Bharat Jodo Andolan, Bharat Jodo Yatra, Rahul Gandhi deferred one day in Kerala on the call of PFI, which was in response to the raids at several offices and arrest of several members. And there are many serious charges. So the decision of Congress and Rahul Gandhi to sort of respond in a way, I would say, favorably to the call of PFI, does that speak something about the spirit with which Congress, under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi, is taking this Padayatra, and that too with the objective of Bharat Jodo? Whereas what PFI has done is totally opposite to Bharat Jodo, and they have the objective which, again, one chief minister of Congress brought to the notice of court. So over to you, Sudhir.
If you see PFI, when we talk of PFI, which is called the Popular Front of India, so they ostensibly they try to model themselves as a social organization which will not directly participate in the election process. They will not be directly involved in politics. But PFI has several offshoots. One among them is SDPI, which is Social Democratic Party of India. So SDPI is the political wing of PFI. So what? And then, for example, we have CFI, which is Campus Front of India. So Campus Front of India is like any other party like NSUI or ABVP. They fight elections. Some places they win also. And then the fourth offshoot is NWF, which is the National Women's Front of PFI. So PFI itself as an organization, it does not contain or it does not keep any records of membership. There are no registers. It has no records of donations or anything. Donations, of course, they have, but no record of membership. So it has tried to remain apolitical, but you have to go back. The PFI was formed in somewhere in 2007. But what is PFI? PFI, all the members or the founding fathers of PFI are the same guys who were the members of SIMI. SIMI, as you know, was a very militant and volatile organization of India called Students Islamic Movement of India, SIMI. And SIMI it started in 1977 from Aligarh. It was later on banned. SIMI was banned in 2001. So why was SIMI banned? Because what was SIMI's mission? SIMI's vision was liberation of India by converting India into an Islamic state. And all the members of SIMI, almost they are all replicated in the same hierarchy in PFI. So PFI is nothing but SIMI, and SIMI, I have explained to you, its mission was liberation of India. And SIMI said that democracy and secularism has not helped the Muslims of India. See, I am telling you the recorded facts. I am not putting any my words, they said democratic process and secular India, it has not helped the cause of Muslims. So we need to convert India into a Islamic caliphate. That is what their award mission was. So PFI actually it became, if you see PFI's head office actually is in Shaheen Bagh in New Delhi, headquarters, their official. And you know what happened in Shaheen Bagh? So PFI was formed around in 2007, and many of its members, though not PFI directly, because there are no direct links linking PFI to the all the riots which happened in India in 2007, the Bodh Gaya riot, the Bhopal blast, and the blast which happened in the Delhi in the Sarojini Nagar markets and all. But many members who were members of PFI, they were also caught in these acts. So now on 22nd of September, National Investigation Agency, it swooped down on 100 offices of PFI in 15 states. And they have they in multiple raids they have booked this PFI of PFI members into several cases. For example, if you see the Delhi state PFI, and I'll tell you the names, the president of Delhi president is of PFI is Parvez Ahmed. Their general secretary is Mohammad Ilyas. Office secretary is Abdul Mukeet. They have been booked for money laundering, and it is said that Parvez has admitted to NIA during the interrogation that yes, he was involved. So he's being tried under Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, wherein they were collecting donations for charitable purposes. But what was it being used for? So as per NIA, there are three things. It is important to understand three specific things in which it is said that PFI could be involved. One is terror funding. Number two is training armed groups for any revolt or any uprising, and third is religious conversion. You should know that I am forgetting the name of the lady in Kerala who's the president of National Women's Front. She was caught on camera by Aaj Tak, and she said that they are getting money and they want to convert it, but they want to convert people, but they are not calling it conversion, because if they call it conversion, it will attract negative vibes. So PFI's connection, strangely, when Oman Chandi was the chief minister of Kerala, he had requested for a ban on PFI. This happened in Kerala. But if you see the strategic vision of Congress, which is to win the election, they also feel that they have a kind of a monopoly. They need to regain their monopoly on the 18 to 20% votes. So they seem to be going a bit soft on PFI, which happened when Siddharamaiah came back as the chief minister of Karnataka. It is said in the local bodies election, they managed to have a tacit understanding, which was not an open understanding, but a tacit understanding with PFI, and they were able to win some election. And many cases against PFI workers were dropped by that government. So I am not
Yeah,
surprised
yeah.
if in Kerala Rahul Gandhi took a day off on the day when PFI called for a hartal. They called for a strike.
Yeah,
And when
Sudhir,
they called
yeah,
for a strike,
yeah. Let me bring in Dheeraj ji, and let's take help of his know-how on how this money laundry thing keeps on working and goes unnoticed, unchecked for so many years. And somebody from Congress party, the spokesperson was saying that why it took 8 years to BJP government to have raids on PFI. The other relevant connection of PFI also reminds me of the days when a father's, that is a church pastor's, hands were chopped off, and
yes,
that also have some link with PFI. And before I let you share the monetary side of it, Dheeraj, this PFI has been very active in radicalizing youth as well as in pumping up the kind of protests like hijab, etc. And so overall, money plays an important role, and that is coming from the Gulf countries also. And of course, there are many supporters in India. So this situation is a cause of concern for one and all, because political parties have their own compulsions, but this is a very, very big, serious internal security threat, Dheeraj. So your take on the role of Modi government, especially from the point of view of financial uh, strength of PFI.
Yeah, Namaskar. I think you're touching the right point. You see, any organizations needs finance, like it's oxygen to survive and work and that. Unfortunately, in India and many developing countries right now, world is moving towards recession threats. So all the companies which need servicing are cutting down their expensing. And why am I bringing it up? Because India is the service hood of the world. So joblessness is increasing across the globe. US joblessness data is also new, is expected to grow. In India also joblessness is there. When there is joblessness, youth is there, it's very easy to brainwash them, especially if money is available to pay them. You saw what happened in Kashmir. People were getting paid thousands of rupees an hour to throw stones. As soon as they cut the oxygen, where are they? Stone pelters disappeared. So same thing with this organization. Unfortunately, radical Islam and people who are brainwashing have very strong network. India is developing very fast. We have neighbors who have vested interest in disturbing that. Fortunately, India's ties with the West are very strong. Intelligence sharing is there, and Indian government is very, very strong on collecting this data and what we call it, taking it to them. Instead of explosion happening, they are trying to build up a very strong network with different inter country organizations. And also now, if you recall, before 2014, it was very easy to open an NGO in India, send money from anywhere you want, and nobody asked that accesses, and then it was going around. And even in politics, a lot of cash was involved. Now government bonds are issued. So there is much more transparency than it was before. Do we have still a lot of work to do? Yes, financial transparency is very important. I think India is moving, but miles to go from here. And that's why you're seeing this takes time, because all these companies, shell companies, have 3, 4, 5 layers of coating. Money gets routed at different countries, back and forth, back and forth. So whoever thinks it's a click of button and you can find where the money is coming and you can track it in seconds, they are wrong. There is so much layering there involved. So I think government of India is doing a phenomenal job, and it's very important for national security of India and the peace and harmony of different religions and communities which sustain peacefully for thousands of years in India. And that's why unfortunately joblessness is a real factor in India. And that's why a lot of youth who are going to madrasas or unregulated areas are at a high risk for that. And that's why government is trying to upregulate madrasa, make them modernized. I think that's a very, very welcoming step, and that will reduce the number of recruits or people who are being able to be brainwashed. You will never see a politician like OAC's son going and exploding himself somewhere or going to a madrasa. Anytime these leaders are asked these questions, who are member of parliaments, industrialists, none of these people send their children to madrasa. So why should a poor? So it's a social economical injustice. Why should you give undergrade? And when you ask these people, they are saying we are preparing them to be clerics. You don't need so many clerics. Where will you hire this guy at a HP or Larso and Tarbo in India, or Medanta? No, these people won't get those kind of jobs. So you need to change the education system according to what world needs. You cannot go 40 years behind and start training people in Farsi. Farsi is almost a dead language. But if you go in Mughal era, it was the official language of India. All the documents are there. So you have to change Unani medicine. Think about Unani medicine. Nowhere it's practiced. It's a Greek medicine. I'm a physician. I give lectures to Unani medicine graduates in Delhi, and I know their standard. And Government of India is trying to make bridging courses now. So excellent steps. I think people should welcome Government of India's initiatives from different communities, because it will secure the future of their next generation.
So we just have a few minutes to go, Sudhir, and we'll go back to the presidentship of Congress. So what do you foresee? You said the chances of Ashok Gehlot becoming party president are low, and that also has resulted into a very strange sort of a political dynamics within Congress in Rajasthan. So maybe it is in the interest of party to avoid that. But what about Shashi Tharoor? Even if he's like considered to be intellectual. Why should Gandhi family or Congress should treat that as a threat and not that as an asset?
Shashi Tharoor will never be allowed to become the president of Congress. He will never ever be allowed. Just like Sachin Pilot or a Sindhia or a Jitin Prasad or somebody who's dynamic, somebody who will steal the limelight away from the prince will never be. I'm very, I'm absolutely clear in my mind, and I don't like it. They will rather like to have why did they want Ashok Gehlot to be the Congress president? See, when you compare Ashok Gehlot to Sonia Gandhi, he will pale into insignificance. Anyway, in any case, any leader today, but if you put Shashi Tharoor there, he will have his own appeal, right? So, for example, why should we talk of? I am telling you, Surjewala, who's so loyal, who's so committed to the Gandhi family, even they will not appoint him. They want to appoint somebody who will not only be a rubber stamp, but somebody who will look dumb. Okay? So that's why you will find, and I don't want to say that Mallikarjun Kharge is dumb, but you could have somebody like Kharge being the interim Congress president. But see, how is the election of Congress president done? That also is something. It's one of the mysteries. First of all the block level workers, they select the block delegates, then they select the district delegates, then they select the state delegates, and if 5 state delegates are selected in state PCC, then one in All India Congress Committee. Till today, very few people have access to this. So there is no transparency in the election, and they thought that Ashok Gehlot will simply agree. But I wrote in one of the articles that this is one election where, suppose the election is between Shashi Tharoor and Gehlot. Gehlot is likely to win, but he does not want to win, because even if he wins, he knows that the spotlight will continue to remain on the Gandhi family, and he will lose his chief
I think
minister.
you have touched a very interesting psychological undercurrent there
Yes.
about leadership and about one's position and how much light one can have around him as Congress president. But just in the last 2 minutes, Dheerajji, I'm giving you a tall order right now with new developments coming regarding Waqf board getting extraordinary powers thanks to Congress, one through law, another having been given 123 properties just before the election 2014. So talk to me overall. We cannot get into the details, but overall, do you see a kind of harmonious resolve to these issues which are emerging, Dheerajji?
I think even if a board is there which is representing a sub-community or a community, I think their loyalty should be to their people and futures, not to themselves. That's a very unfortunate, sad part of politics. Most of these politicians, I'm not blaming everybody, as they try to represent them as common man, wear same outfit like Mahatma Gandhi, kurta. Why kurta? And they come and ask them votes and eat at their food as if they are the same between them. As soon as they win, they have Rolls Royce and BMWs, and their children are paying $500,000, tuition fees. So all that disappears. So I think I may sound very hard, but I think this is high time public should wake up and start looking these up. India is the most digital country in the world. Every single person, name it, every second person has a smartphone. Internet is very cheap. You can look up things. I think this has to change with education and 75 years of independence. I think public social media platforms like yours are spreading awareness, and that's why people can connect to our prime minister. There is no rocket science in it.
So, Dheerajji, I appreciate you, and you brought very important point. People need to wake up is the mantra where we will conclude, and that is the only way which gives us hope that these problems would be taken care of. And I think people are waking up. So, on that comparatively positive note, and hopefully Congress will also find its proper direction in near future. Sudhir, thank you very much for joining us. Dheerajji, thank you very much. And thanks to all our viewers with lots and lots of good wishes. This is the final namaste from today's show.